Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for Snowfall Season 5, Episode 5, the Iliad, Part 1. This episode here was all over the place. It was all over the place. And in a good way. In a good way. It was a nice little roller coaster ride. And I enjoyed it. So let's get into it. So girlfriend, she's on the phone making deals. You know, they're trying to get this building, and so she's on the phone with some people trying to get that squared away. She and Franklin, they're ready to move their money from Panama over to Cayman, so they're ready to put their, to invest their money. Now they got to get everybody else on board, and by everybody else we mean Uncle Jerome and Auntie Louie. So they take the documents to Auntie Louie and Jerome for them to sign, and for them to move their money to the Caymans. And Louis is like, I mean, not so fast, nephew. Now, I ain't say I will do it. We ain't say nothing about investing. We said we would hear you out. This is us hearing you out. We said, we needed a little bit of time. And Franklin said, yeah, I remember you said you needed time, but here's a pen. And I think I think you've had enough time. It's time to go ahead and pull the trigger on it. And they're looking at him like, no, we said no. And girlfriend, she's just sitting over there because what can she say? What can she do? But they're not, Louis say, these aren't my dreams. These are your dreams. These are your goals. They're not ours. They are trying to work something else out. They're trying to do something else, and it doesn't involve investing $10 million into what Franklin wants them to do. And I mean, I can't really blame them for that, because Franklin, it's always his bottom line. It's always, what he wants, and F everybody else and what they have going on. It's just like these people have already tried to remove themselves from, any dealings that they had with you business-wise, and trying to, branch off and do their own thing. And here you come thinking that they're not going to be hesitant to, get back in business with you, especially investing $10 million. Uncle Jerome say that's all our money. And he talking about some, I know you got it. Look at those earrings. Don't count my pockets, Franklin. Don't count my pockets. Now, I done said we're not really interested. This isn't really something that we're, looking to do. And I'm going to need for you to just back off. But Franklin, he gets upset. He says okay, but he gets upset and storms out. And here come girlfriend. Because who is she? The whisperer? She just grabbed him by the face. Okay, breathe with me. Breathe with me in. Okay, breathe with me. Breathe with me. Now, don't give up on your family just yet, She's so zenned out. Meanwhile, he flustered and, and anxious, and she calms him right on down, but she convinces him, don't give up on the family, It's going to take them some convincing, but maybe they need to hear it from somebody else. And so she going to find the somebody else. At first I was like, now I know you ain't thinking it's going to be you. We supposed to listen to you? That's not what happened. So, anyway, Sissy, she meets with the hitman again, and he gives her this pen. It's a bug, and he tells her, try to get this in Franklin's office. And she's like, whoa. Now, I was here to get Teddy, not Franklin. Like, I'm not really comfortable with bugging my son. And he's like, is this, or I don't know how to help you. And she's just like, I mean, listen, my Alton went down this road. I'm not trying to go down this road. Like, I want Teddy Franklin. Teddy Franklin. That's over there on Our Kind of People. I want Teddy Reid to, I want to take him down, but not at the expense of betraying my son, and losing my child. So, yeah, no, we're not going to be able to do that. And he's just like, okay, I mean, listen, keep the bug and do with it whatever you please. But just know, I got to get something. I got to hear and find out. And, he has to find out more on their business dealings together so that he can take Teddy Reid down. So she better figure out a way. I mean, go around them, I guess, with the pen on you. Get a little information. I don't know. Or just tell No. I mean, she could just tell Franklin. Franklin don't really care about Teddy Reid like that. I mean, I feel like tell him what the haps is, and maybe he'll be on board with getting back at the guy that killed his father, you know? Try to get Franklin on board with it so she ain't got to be so sneaky and worried about betraying him. Anyway, Franklin meets with Teddy Reid, and he has they meeting for the drop, and he has a stand-in for Peaches because Peaches has called in sick. Now, on Twitter, I saw something where someone was like, we come up with our theories, and people were saying that they hope Peaches isn't, gonna bring in the whole AIDS epidemic. We already got the crack epidemic, that we've seen unfold. It's around the timeline for the AIDS epidemic to just hit, all the black folks. So, I'm hoping that they're not, setting us up for Peaches being HIV positive, but it wouldn't be far-fetched. There's that. And then there's the fact that he could be involved in all of what happened in this episode. But let's just get there. Peaches ain't there. He done called in sick. Gustavo is there with Teddy Reid, of course. And Teddy Reid is asking about, so how's that situation with Uncle Jerome and Louie? And he says it's a situation. But before he can even get it out, this van comes speeding around the corner with their guns out there. You know how they open they open the door, and now they out there with their guns, and they just sprayed a whole place out. I mean, aired it out. Everybody went running, and Teddy Reid, he goes to run, and he, everybody busting back too. But Teddy Reid gets shot, and of course, when he gets shot, he got to, find his way in his car, and he just, dips on out of there. So that leaves Franklin and Gustavo, and so Franklin got to get in his car some way. Gustavo gets hit in the shoulder. I think it's a through and through. No, he just got grazed, but he does get hit. He gets him in the car, and then they ride out. That car's so shot up, it's smoking. And so Gustavo is like, the car about to die. We got to lose it. And so they pull into an alleyway, and they get out. It's the money is still in the trunk. It got bullet holes in the bag, but I mean, the money is okay. They got to grab this money, and they got to ditch this car. And now they on foot. So Franklin's like, we can't be on foot too long. It's bad. It's bad. It's a situation. He got grazed, like I said, and so they take a piece of his shirt and tie it around his arm, and he's just like, we got to, get out of here. We can't be on foot too long. They have $3 million in cash on them, so they're gonna have to find a ride and real soon. Teddy Reid, on the other hand, and when I say he's struggling, I was like, oh, Teddy Reid, old bitch ass, tighten up. You in the CIA, and he's really about to throw up. He in the car about to throw up, and I'm like, this better not be a through and through, and he's doing all this carrying on as if the bullet is lodged or something. I don't know, but Teddy Reid was going through in that car. He pulls over to throw up. He gets out. He take a handful of the cocaine and puts it on his wound, and then takes the knife that he's using, that he used to cut open the brick, and he takes, the biggest scoop of cocaine and snorts it. And so I guess he all right. Now he can get in the car and drive, because before he was in and out of consciousness, about to pass out. It was all bad. He did not need to be behind that wheel. But when he, snorts that cocaine, he drives off like, it's all good. Franklin and Gustavo, they stop at some water holes to wash their hands or whatever. Gustavo, he's asking, like, who was that? You have any idea? Who tried to kill you? Franklin say he don't know. He's like, listen, you got to know your enemies, mijo. You got to know your enemies. Franklin don't know who that was. They head back out to the streets, and Franklin, he's asking him, why would Teddy Reid just leave them like that? And he says, oh, he got shot. I saw it. And it was pretty bad. It didn't look good. He got shot. That's why he left. Gustavo like, so where was Peaches? And Franklin's like I told Teddy Reid, he called in sick. He's like, you sure? He kind of laughs it off like this probably his ass. And now that whole theory about Peaches having HIV sounds skeptical. Now it's leaning more towards Peaches might be involved in this, because the whole episode went by and we still ain't find out who it was, or who sent them people out there to do that. I was thinking Scully. Can't be Scully. He's not an enemy anymore. We don't know who it is. It's probably girlfriend. It's probably girlfriend. I just don't, y'all already know how I feel about girlfriend. Don't trust her. Don't know her. We need to be looking at her ass. Anyway, Auntie Louie and Jerome, they meet with girlfriend and Sissy. And, Louie's like, I know we ain't about to have the same conversation we just had. I done already told y'all we ain't investing our money. We not doing it. And Sissy's like, we're not here to try to convince you to invest with Franklin. I just want to know that you have a plan, because whatever plan you have is going to fail. It's going to fall through. Like, aren't y'all worried about, your life and going to jail and the bottom just falling out from underneath you? Like, aren't you worried about those things? She would rather live a legitimate life, and she would like for her brother and sister-in-law to come along, get on board with the family. Because we're moving out. And I don't know if you know this, Mama, but I don't think Franklin ready to go nowhere. Franklin feel, to me, it seems like Franklin is going to try to figure out a way to have his cake and eat it too, to do both, to be in the business, and a real estate mogul. Like, I feel like he thinks he's going to do both. And I guess it's plausible, James St. Patrick owned a whole nightclub. He was a whole philanthropist, politician. He had all the legitimate titles. Meanwhile, he was a drug kingpin. So, it can happen. It can happen. Anyway, while Sissy is talking to them, their pagers keep going off. Because we do see that Franklin goes, they end up at this like gas station, and there are two pay phones outside, and he makes calls on both of them, and they just sit there and wait for the phone to ring. We see Jerome get a page. We see Auntie Louie, her beeper going off, and Sissy's, I guess she probably think is, work related. But it's Franklin calling them, and finally Jerome can get over there to the phone. This dude on the payphone just really yapping about a television show. He done watched Blockbuster and on the line with his friends, and Jerome like, my man, you gonna be on here long? You gonna be on this call long? And he's like, and Jerome, of course has to snatch the phone from him, because Nick, I tried to be nice, not anymore. Give me this phone. So he get on the line, and calls Franklin back, and Franklin tells him, that he was just shot at the drop and all of that. Is everybody okay? Everybody's good. But Teddy Reid, and, he's off with the drugs or whatever. We do have the money, all is well with that. Everybody is safe. And while Jerome talking, he see this car rolling up slowly. And, of course, he holler out to Louie, Louie! And Louie gets into action. She gets into formation, flips that table up on there, so that it's a shield. And Sissy, and girlfriend, duck for cover. And po man coming out the store gets shot, because, now we shooting at this time. And it's so many innocent bystanders just getting shot up. I'm just like, y'all ain't hit the target at all. Just kill all these people. All these people dead. Sorry, sir, coming out the store. Sorry, waitress lady that went to work, and I'm sure she did not expect this. Jerome and them done brought all that foolishness over there to the little country club, to the little nice restaurant, because it was at a nice little restaurant. Back at the I already said that. Anyway, Franklin and Gustavo, they're waiting for somebody to call them back. Oh, I already said that. Dog, I was moving quick. I'm moving quick today. Go me. Okay, anyway, Franklin heard all that shooting, of course, so he's nervous. And while he was on the phone, it was 3 amigos behind him, like walking up. They see them with them bags, and they just walking up. They got their bats and they pocket knives out, and they look like kids, like young kids. And so they roll up on Franklin. What's in the bag? Gustavo says, "Oh, it's just some dirty laundry. Let's go, Franklin." And they kind of like circle them, and Franklin pulls his gun, like, "Please just get the fuck on." Get back, get out of here. And then the other one of them, all of them leave, but one, he ain't scared. He's like, I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared. And I said what I said, give up the bag, And then here come 2 other dudes coming out with their guns. They look like some Crips. They had on their blue plaid, so who knows what gang they're affiliated with. So Gustavo and Franklin just take off running. At the shootout, the dust has settled and the bodies are on the ground. Louis is like, we got to go right now. We got to go. She can't risk getting hemmed up by the police. Sissy is shook. She trying to spring into action and help. Let's call the police. Let's help. Did somebody call the police? And Louis over there like, let's go right now. Right now. We got to go. Let's go right now. Let's go. Sissy, she asking, who's shooting at you, Jerome? He say he don't know. He does not know. While they walking, girlfriend, she jumps into action. And I was a little, pleasantly surprised. Still don't know about her, but pleasantly surprised. Because y'all go ahead and put your guns in here. What you want the guns for? I just don't know about her, What you gonna do with them? Turn them in? What you gonna do with them? Use them in another murder and pin it on some? What are you gonna... See, we just can't trust everybody. And I don't know, maybe that was a good thing, I don't know, but she had them put their guns in her purse. Maybe it's because she doesn't look like the gun toting type, and they probably wouldn't check her bag. I don't know. But when the police, get there, they roll up on them and make them, get over here on the curb, put your hands on your head right now. So all 3 of them sitting on the curb with their hands on their head. The police officer walks up on, Franklin and Gustavo, they still running from the goons. This happened before that. They running from the goons, and they, run into an alley, and now they cornered, and Franklin sees this little tiny door that opens into a little crawl space, and so they crawl in there and hide. And it's apparent that the dudes just got in the car and drove off after a while. But that's where they sit and lie in wait. Back over there at the scene, they got Jerome in handcuffs, Louis and Sissy and girlfriend sitting on the curb, and one of the cops is walking up to girlfriend like, you get up right now. She just busts out crying. She goes into full Karen mode, okay? Weaponized white lady tears, and she ain't even a white lady. But it worked. She tried to act all frantic and just so upset and distraught over witnessing all of that. And then we have Sissy, like comforting her. She's pregnant. Oh my God, she's pregnant. Stop. And then Louis on the curb, like, I'm CI for Bo Buckley, and he said to call him if I ever got in trouble. And the dude is like, because he know that name, he must be of course Bo Buckley is a higher rank than he is. He just a first responder, if you will. And so he says to her, if you lying, that's that ass. And she says she ain't lying. Go ahead and call him. You want me to give you his pager number? And so, they got to let them go. This woman is jogging home. And when she gets to her house, she sees this car in her driveway, bullet holes all up and through it. And then there's a trail of blood leading from the car outside on the driveway, up the stairs, up to the door, in the house, leading all the way into the kitchen. And she gets in there, she grabs a little shovel at the door before she goes inside, and she's like, who is bleeding all over my floor, all in my hallway? And she's kind of like weird because she's not scared. It's almost as if people break in her house all the time and bleed all over her floor. I don't know. But as soon as she sees Teddy Reid, she's like, Thomas. And, she runs over there to him, and he laid out on the floor, bleeding out, about to die. Bleeding out. But she's something. She got something with her. She's witty for one, but she got something with her. She looks at his wound, tells him, you're gonna live. It went straight through. And then she, gets her keys and she's about to head to the hospital so she can steal some surgical supplies. Before leaving, she take a handful of salt and throws it on his wound like, pain is the best way to keep you alive, my nigga. All right, you put some pressure on that. I'll be back. And she goes on by her business. I'm assuming that Teddy Reid knows her from the CIA. Maybe she was in the CIA with him. I don't know. Leon, he and the homies, they meet with Ivy. And Ivy, he got the tools on deck. And so Leon's ass now has changed his mind. Like, I know I said we wanted all of this, but we just gonna take a few handguns, couple rifles. That's all. I be like, now this ain't Macy's. Ain't no receipt come with this. Ain't no return policy on this. And while they talking, then all of a sudden bullets start flying. Somebody's shooting at them. So now Ivy got the bust back. And I was just thinking to myself, if something happens to Ivy, I'm gonna be upset. Nothing happened to Ivy. Thank God. A few things happened to his partners. He lost a few people, but I mean, casualties. It's to be expected. But Leon, one of the dudes that was shooting, he fell out the car and they just left his ass and kept on driving. Leon, they take his mask off to see who it is, and we still don't know who it is. We still don't know who sent the people. Who sent the people around there? Franklin and Gustavo, they bonding at this point under the house or whatever it is in the crawl space. Franklin tells him, that he and girlfriend are having a baby, and it's kind of quiet now. It's about to get dark in a little bit, so they gonna try to make a run for it. Before they leave, Franklin says, "Let's just leave the money here." I was thinking, you don't know who saw you go up in there. Just gonna leave it. And then when they left the thing all open. I said, no, wait. Do you want somebody to stroll up in here? I mean, I don't know how possible that is, because it's just so random, but y'all randomly found it. So, I mean, who knows? But they left the money there and, went to try to make a run for it. They was going to try to go to an empty house and see if they could use a phone. At the crime scene, at the shootout, Jerome and them, Bo done came. He done showed up to the place to help them. Bo says, y'all can pay me back, how you supposed to pay me back in cocaine. They like, you're a joke. They be so disgusted every time they got to give him cocaine for favors. It's like, you the worst kind. You need to get yourself clean. Just a cokehead. They're just disgusted with him. Teddy Reid, he in surgery. The lady is doing surgery on him. And she's, like I said, she's weird. She's talking to him. It's giving Dexter. You know how Dexter be talking to his victims? before he take them out. That's how she was doing. Just talking, saying how much she missed doing surgeries. Because right now, all she does is change bedpans. So I guess she's dumbed herself down in her new role. Being out of the CIA. I don't know. Maybe she was I don't know. But sis a whole doctor. A surgeon. And she's performing the surgery and talking to him and telling him about a time she made this man go down on her after she knocked all his teeth out. And I was like, ma'am. She talking about something, I know that sounds bad. And I used to hide, but now I don't have to hide anymore. And she leans back, looking at him all bludgeoned up and starts masturbating. I was like, ma'am, what you into? Yeah, something is off about that one. Something is off about that one. Weirdo. Franklin and Gustavo, they find this house and they break into it. The home owner is a taxidermist because it's a stuffed bear at the door when you walk in, a stuffed alligator on the couch. They just looking around, and Franklin, they find the phone, and when he goes to try to make the call, the phone dead. Next thing you know, he gets shot in the back, and then Gustavo does too with a needle. It was giving. And one in the back, and it's like, what the fuck is that? Oh. you know, and then they just fall down because it's definitely a tranquilizer of some sort of drug. And Franklin's like, you gonna stuff me? And the dude was like, oh, no, you too skinny, but this one, he's just my type. Franklin over there like, Gustavo, run. He's gonna stuff you. He gonna stuff you. And then they was out. They was both out for the count. That man was a weirdo. He had phone dead because he one of them people that kind of got, he liable to have a bunker under the ground. He one of them people. Teddy Reid, he going in and out of consciousness. We see the old girl come over there and she take his keys out his pocket. He hide up too on whatever because he laughing about it, thinking he being tickled. But anyway, she takes the keys and goes to the car. She says that she's going out there to move it, but she goes out there snooping around and then pops the trunk and finds all that cocaine. And it's like, you know, like, all right, got me some money now. I don't know what she plans to do with them drugs, but it's probably not a good thing that she found them. The family, they are, you know, all at the house. I think they was at Franklin's house, but they're all at the house waiting on Franklin. You know, Franklin is the only one that hasn't shown up. They're brainstorming who could have done this, who is shooting at us. They throwing out names. You know, nobody can figure it out. Leon is like, the dude, one of they niggas, but we don't know who that is. Like, one of the dudes fell out the car. We saw his face and still don't know who it is. We don't know who it is. And Louis is like, where's Peaches? What about Peaches? Has anybody seen Peaches? And Jerome says, well, he was sick today. And Louis is like, really? Did y'all check on him? And so she sends Jerome to go check on Peaches to see if Peaches is really at home sick. And then Jerome throws out Thelma and Louise. Like, where they at, you know? And Louis like, you let me deal with Thelma and Louise. You go over there and you deal with Peaches and see what's what. We gonna come back in the middle. But it has to be somebody that's close to them because they knew exactly where they were at every stop. Girlfriend knows that stuff too. Why y'all not looking at girlfriend? I don't trust her, nor do we know her. I can't wait for that shoe to drop. That's gonna be something else when we find that, cause she ain't gonna be shit. I just know it. Ain't nowhere in the world they done gave Franklin a legitimate girlfriend that's gonna be ride or die. Anyway, Franklin, he wakes up in a cage and he hears some cooing, and by cooing I mean that lightly, cause it was a whole ass tiger pacing the floor back and forth, you know, looking at his prey, lying in wait. And Franklin is like, wake up, Gustavo, wake up, it's a tiger. And he's like, tiger? He's still, you know, groggy. But they in a situation. They in a cage. And listen, we have got to get the fuck up out of here. Y'all have got to get the hell up out of there. I don't know how you're going to do it, but y'all got to get out. Because now they done stumbled onto this. And it's like, this man is crazy on a whole different level. You know, it's not, we done ran into a drug dealer enemy crazy. No, this man might be serial killer crazy with his taxidermy and all of that stuff and things. Anyway, another great episode per usual. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.